Okay, so we got some pretty crazy reactions coming from the Hoyoverse SAG-AFTRA strike situation, which again has been a pretty crazy ride. It seems that we're finally coming to the end of this, and obviously a lot of the voice actors are now coming back to Genshin Impact, Hoyoverse, games in general, and just video games in general. Now, if you don't know, obviously two voice actors ended up getting replaced, which is great to see. Obviously, Kayle was one of them, who was one of the ones famously involved with the whole Jacob Takanashi stuff, and her going into his replies and stuff, kind of pocket watching him, and essentially just being horrible and bullying the dude in general. And the same goes for the voice actor for Paimon as well, Karina Boga, who also has been replaced as the voice actor for Paimon. Now, it seems like there's some people out there though that aren't happy with this, and there's been a very mixed reaction to a lot of this stuff going on, which I wanted to show you guys. Obviously, the first kind of reactions, people being like very happy, for example, saying, "Oh yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for." You know, people very excited at the fact that Kayle has been replaced, and also Paimon's voice actor has been replaced. Obviously, saying Paimon has been years in the making. I swear Hoyoverse was just waiting for an excuse. Honestly, I doubt they cared, but this situation blew up so much that they had to respond. Good riddance. They say for real, they've been messed up for so long, and a major reason why people played the Japanese, Chinese, Korean dubs instead for ages, but now they couldn't ignore the English players. In my experience, two of the biggest reasons why people switch from EN to any other dub are one, simply preference, and two, poor voice direction, and it's really god awful in some places, so I don't blame the VAs themselves. The most recent one is the strike muted characters really did no favors. They said, that said, Hoyoverse is surprisingly good at dealing with such controversies. Remember the whole stuff with the Tainari VA? Yeah, they responded pretty quickly. Now I see a lot of VAs coming back to Genshin, so hopefully there'll be no more dialogue muted, which again obviously is true. People were excited just to see a lot of the voice actors coming back, because most of the voice actors now for the Genshin Impact kind of game has announced that they're returning in some shape or form. They might not be returning instantly, they might be returning over the next couple updates or something, or trying to get something going, and also all of their voices from previously when they were muted might not be voiced instantly too. They might be working on that, so again it might take a little bit of time, but anybody who hasn't, well, we might expect to see them fired soon. But again, we will probably have to wait until the 5.8 update patch, as I doubt Genshin Impact will make an official statement on it, due to the fact of, you know, them not really making one about Paimon and Kuching, which honestly is probably one of the biggest bits of news, and they didn't actually make a separate post or anything actually regarding that, which I found was a very, very interesting way to deal with it. But honestly, I think it's actually one of the best ways to deal with it. But there's also people that aren't so happy about this. For example, this person who says that they're going to be uninstalling Genshin Impact due to the fact that Kuching's voice actor is changing. Obviously, they start off quoting that post saying, "Thank you so much for voicing my favorite character, Kuching. Yeah, another character I love you so much. I love your voice. Sorry, I don't know what I said. I'm so sorry that the internet has been incredibly vile to you, and for what? Asking for AI protections, anti-union misinformation. I'll forever miss you, Kuching." Brother, this person is so misinformed on what actually happened. Obviously, they're saying, "Oh, you know, the internet's been so vile to you because you just want AI protections, anti-union misinformation." No, that is not the case. I think one of the biggest reasons people want Kayle out is not due to the fact that she wanted AI protections. It's not due to the fact of, you know, there's a union misinformation going around. It's due to the fact of her literally bullying another voice actor due to the fact that, you know, he took a job. You know, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, and obviously Jacob Takanashi was facing a lot of backlash from many people, and Kuching's voice actor happened to be one of them. And not only that, not only did she, you know, kind of bully him and not accept him into the kind of Genshin Impact voice actor community, but also at the same time she was there like fully like pocket watching him, saying that, you know, oh, he just bought a house, oh, he's got a wife and kids, or, you know, whatever, and saying that, oh, you know, he should be able to do this, he should be able to do that, and essentially kind of micro analyzing a lot of his life, which is extremely weird to do, especially as a professional voice actor who, you know, should be having some better things to do than, you know, kind of stalking this dude just because he took the role from someone else. Now, obviously, they say, yeah, no shot, I'm never going back to Genshin, might finally uninstall after all. So people are actually leaving over the fact that Kayle has been replaced, over the fact that maybe even Karina has been replaced. I think this was more to do with Kayle. But again, obviously, there's a key word here, might finally. Honestly, I think they're going to stay. I think their sunk cost fallacy with Genshin Impact is way too strong for them to actually leave, and I think that's why they're saying might finally, due to the fact of they probably won't. They just want to kind of make a, I guess, a kind of inflammatory post. They're saying replacing Kayle's phenomenal performance as Kuching, both being my favorite VA and character. Yep, that's the last straw. Screw Hoyo, you greedy pieces of shit. Which I think it's kind of crazy, because obviously they say replacing Kayle's phenomenal performance as Kuching. Like, she could do an amazing voice as Kuching, whatever, I don't really care. But at the same time, let's be real, how often does Kuching actually appear in the story to actually kind of showcase that good voice acting? Pretty much never. I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter. And obviously, we've got a new voice actor for Kuching. Apparently, it has been leaked, and people are saying it isn't very good. Now, obviously, that could just be the hate, just from people that want to just be anti against it, or want to support Kayle Mills or whatever. So they're saying, oh, this new voice actor is so bad. Kayle was so much better. I think that obviously is a big factor to it, and honestly, I don't think it's that bad. But at the same time, you know, some people have been saying it is a bad voice actor. But honestly, that's what you get, you know, that is what you get whenever, you know, you mess about over on Twitter, over on Blue Sky, and attack other voice actors and do this kind of stuff online. You end up getting replaced by someone who is potentially not even as good as you. I don't really know. I don't really want to throw that shade towards that voice actor, the new one, and say they're not as good. Obviously, it might just be due to the voice direction or how Hoyoverse wanted it to be. But obviously, yeah, it seems like, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if there is a voice actor that does get announced, because as we spoke about in the last video, essentially what has happened is Hoyoverse have actually keeps this like voice actor thing very anonymous. You know, a lot of these voice actors that are coming in to replace Paimon, to replace Kuching, have all been kept anonymous to avoid the kind of backlash that they were inevitably going to get. And they are already getting backlash, by the way. I covered in my last video, people were already hating on them, calling them names, things like that, due to the fact of them kind of, you know, taking this job. And they don't even know who they are. They don't know what they look like. You know, they don't know anything about this person or about these people that have taken these jobs. All they know is what they sound like, due to the fact that they're voice acting these new characters, which I think is kind of crazy, to attack someone you literally don't know. You're attacking like an invisible wall, which I think is kind of funny. Obviously, yeah, we keep on going as well. You know, people, you know, getting all hyped up over the fact that Kayle Mills actually got community noted whenever it comes to attacking Mujin and stuff like that. Because again, not only has she like attacked other voice actors and stuff, she's also been attacking, you know, content creators like Mujin, who have made videos calling out, you know, the SAG-AFTRA leadership, which again was a absolutely crazy situation that went on. And obviously, it definitely had to be called out by Mujin or by literally anybody in the community, because again, it was a big issue, and they were secretly going behind, you know, in a Discord chat or whatever, talking bad about some of these, you know, popular voice actors like Venti's voice actor, like some other voice actors as well. And it's just kind of really gross to see that, you know, they were allowed to do that for so long, and that these were the people, by the way, that were actually negotiating the deal that, you know, was going on. It's just like, okay, this is actually pretty crazy. And it seems like Kayle obviously wanted to defend them. I don't know if it was because, you know, she kind of resonates with the fact that they were bullying other voice actors behind the scenes. I'm not sure, but, you know, I think it's pretty crazy. And I see the saying, and this gets even crazier than before, you know, and if you see that Sean Lowry put me on a list, report on time to take me off the list of Hoyo spammers ASAP. So again, yeah, people are going pretty crazy over that. And then finally as well, it seems like a lot of people are also getting blocked by a lot of English VA bootlickers. Obviously, I'm assuming like this guy who says they're going to uninstall, and some other people are probably a part of that, saying that just parrot what them VA masters say. I hope more do, because I prefer the trash take itself out. They said, seriously guys, the Genshin thing was never about AI protections. The red flag should have been when Supergiant refused to sign it, and they are more anti-AI than anybody. And some of the English VAs are now in the find out phase after bullying others, which yeah, definitely is true. They're in the find out phase in terms of, yeah, the consequences of their actions, which I thought, yeah, it's kind of funny. But that's pretty much the entire update on that situation in terms of a reaction from the community, from the Genshin Impact community, and how some of them are even threatening to uninstall and leave the game over this kind of stuff, which I think is so stupid, and it's just, I don't know, it's so childish and so weird that people were even doing that in the first place. But hey, if they want to leave, then sure, because again, maybe the Genshin community can be saved if a lot of these people end up leaving and going somewhere else due to, you know, all of this stuff going on. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because again, it's a very interesting situation, and I'm very interested in what you guys think about this. You know, do you think that Kayle deserves to be fired? Do you think that Karina deserves to be fired? Do you think that, you know, people should be allowed to delete the game over this? Because again, I don't think it's I don't think it's the end of the world. But hey, you know, maybe you have a different opinion. But yeah, also go to Games Up, use my code Kayle, get 10% off. Again, got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, see ya.